to say I don't ever remember a Philly 500 like this because see I want you to know,
I think he's pissed off. I don't think he's down.
So you want to know what's really the real reason why the Cowboys turned around?
Tell me.
The real reason is sitting right there. Philly 500 when he came out with those glasses. The Dallas Cowboys did a complete.
That really damaged him psychologically. It really damaged him psychologically. And guess what? The glasses are coming back out tomorrow night.
Please, they've been great for us, buddy. They've been great because from that, here we go, the Dallas Cowboys have been on a tear, and they went up that ass, as you would say. They double moonwalk, they triple moonwalk you. And look at you, you sad sack of shit just sitting there. You can't say a damn thing. But I'll be nice. Yeah, well, things change quickly here. Good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope you all are having a great day. Program note, do you miss me yet? Are you missing me? Well, I've kind of decided that reaching 60 for me and my wife has been really, it's life-changing, okay? I mean, you're getting close enough to start collecting Social Security, and that's when you know you're really old. But we've had a great get-together with my friends and my brother and his wife and things. And so I have spent more time with them just hanging out, playing spades, talking and joking and laughing and stuff. And it's been great for my soul. So hope you guys understand. Everybody always tells me I need to take time off and things. And I've been doing that. So I will be doing the live stream at 1 o'clock. And I'm not sure if I'm going to go through both games. I'll definitely watch the Commanders game, although we do have some games that are very, very critical to what is left for the Dallas Cowboys. In essence, our playoff hopes, I think, which are down to 9%. And by the way, let me say shout out to JMU. JMU, which ended up winning the Sun Belt Conference, needing actually UVA to lose last night, has a 99% chance of making the college playoffs, which is just unbelievable. So shout out to JMU. So at least I'm a fan of one team that's not losers. But today we have some critical games for the Cowboys. Unfortunately, when you look at teams that are in the wild cards, teams like Seattle, that's 9-3, and you look at Green Bay, that's 8. Green Bay's 8-4-1. 8-4-1. When you look at, of course, the Lions that now hold a tiebreaker against you, but that are ahead of you and things. Getting there, you're going to need the Lions and the Packers to fall back to earth, or you're going to need to get the San Francisco 49ers to fall back to earth. I would say the best chance that you have would be is getting the Green Bay Packers to fall back. What we actually have to hope for is that the Bears are what we thought they were. We need the Bears to actually beat Green Bay twice, and we need the Lions to lose, and we need to win out. The probably better chance is hoping that the Philadelphia Eagles continue falling downhill with a critical game tomorrow night against the Chargers. If they lose, then your playoff chances improve. If you win out, you got a 50-50 shot of winning. Had we won against the Lions, things would be a lot different. But if we'd won against the Cardinals, things would be a lot different. I am not mad at this season because I think the Cowboys are actually headed in the right directions. And I would rather have some of these problems happen now, because even if we did sneak in the playoffs, I'm not sure we could have gone very far. But what you got to look at this as is a building year. This is the first year of Brian Schottenheimer and his organization trying to figure out who needs to be here and who doesn't. Unfortunately, losing brings a lot of ugliness to the surface. And right now, the big questions are, George Pickens. George Pickens, who I miss because I've been spending time with my family and things. George Pickens firing back at Richard Sherman because Richard Sherman basically said, you were a punk. You were jogging. And there's things that you were hearing that have come out that basically, if it wasn't pass route, that George Pickens wasn't putting his mouthpiece in, which was kind of like a tell to let the Lions know they ain't passing, or they ain't passing to George Pickens. We can focus in on other areas. And some of the routes, kind of jogging through them and not really selling out, because all of those things have an effect that if he's jogging, I'm not so worried about it. He needs to be playing completely. And so you've got a lot of people now that are saying, should we pay him? Now, the thing you heard from Mike Tomlin was George Pickens needs to grow up. He's got a lot of growing to do. Well, you don't grow up overnight. And when you look at the course of the season, it's a Jekyll and Hyde. I mean, you can't go through and look at a guy who had, over 1,100 yards, more yards than he's had in any year in his career, and more touchdown catches and say, he's a bum, get rid of him. This is where coaching matters. Because you can look at a guy like Charles Haley, who couldn't get along with the people in San Francisco, even though they won 2 rings. They said, he's a problem. He comes to Dallas and helps us win 3. And that's where coaching matters, where you have to be the one that takes a problem and finds a solution that works for everybody. Because receivers of that talent are few and far between. It behooves you to figure out what makes him tick, what makes him motivated, what gets that guy going, and what motivates him to make him want to be the best he can be every single Sunday. I'm going to go to 105.3 The Fan and listen to their take about how that game maybe changes the Cowboys' mind about a long-term deal.
Said May have ended the season with the worst effort of the season, many people are believing, for George Pickens. So last night is why I wanted the franchise tag him. Now, I've been burned. I've been burned with the first Dak extension. It ended up costing more money. I am fine a lot of times with a wait-and-see approach. The biggest problem in tagging him is the cap number. Mm-hmm. So, and also what the hell David Mulugeta and him could cook up to cause another Micah-type circus. But the premise of me wanting to tag him, I just want to see you one more. I want to see your behavior for one more year. One of the things, and a lot of people don't like it because people want us to be homers, one of the things that we've always done for 15 years and will always do as long as I'm on the show is tell it like it is. The Cowboys can be on a winning streak, and if Bobby sees George Pickens running half speed in routes, Bobby's going to say it. All right? We want the Cowboys to win. We root for the Cowboys. It's good for the city. It's good for you. It's good for business. But we got to tell it like it is. And there's been a couple moments this year where we've had to give you the reality of what we're hearing behind the scenes and Bobby's seeing on tape. And we kept hearing, and I kept hearing, that he was chronically late. He's not on the field yet, the Vegas incident. He's not on the field for the first 2 plays before the Kansas City game really got going. And this all has to factor in, or maybe it doesn't for you at all. And that's why the text line is here at 877-881-1053 on whether you are going to give him $30 million plus. Because we have an example of Trayvon Diggs falling off after he got paid. No one knows what the hell is going on with Kevontae Turpin. But he got paid.
I know. He's just not very good.
Well, as a returner, he was. He was a Pro Bowler.
Yeah.
And he's
Two-time Pro Bowler.
Two-time Pro Bowler. And he's got nothing but brain farts with his little fake hand gesture and his fadeaway jumpers he's shooting on the sideline in the middle of the huddle.
By the way, those are the only 2 fair catch penalties called in the NFL this year.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's good.
So
it's good to be unique.
Yeah.
Richard Sherman last night went right at it, and many Cowboy fans agreed on Amazon.
The big story here is George Pickens. George Pickens throughout the game, especially late in the game, just looked uninterested in playing football. And that's what you can't have. If you're going to be a superstar, if you want to be the best receiver in the National Football League, you can never be disengaged. It doesn't matter if the game's going your way or not going your way. You can't just disappear in these games or else you're not going to have impact. And just right here, cruising routes. You're the guy. You're the guy. See, CeeDee Lamb is not in this game. He's out, and you get intercepted on your slant routes, and you can't beat the guy and half-ass it. I'm sorry, that's just you can't. It's unacceptable. And if you're the Dallas Cowboys and you're looking at him and you're looking to pay him big-time receiver money, $40 million, you got to look at this tape and say, hey, is this a guy we can trust paying $40 million to show up regardless of circumstance? And I don't know.
Now, GP after Schottenheimer, Brad Sham, and the Post, we're all kind of writing this off to coverage. We got to look at how they were playing me. You know, two guys immediately over the top. That does not dismiss the effort that everybody, including Kirk Herbstreit, multiple times during the game is calling him out for. And I started with the Ryan Flournoy clip because, and if I can't tag him, because I don't want the $28 million cap number I can't manipulate, if I can't tag him, I had been for paying him. I said, you could offer me a first-round pick, and I'm not trading George Pickens, even though we have the Cincinnati Bengals model of paying that side of the ball too much, and you suck defensively, and you're not a real, true, balanced contender. Well, does Ryan Flournoy change your mind? Does Cedric Wilson change your mind? Does Dak Prescott elevating these guys' games change your mind? 9 for 115 for Flournoy. An amazing performance. That was a nasty. I know the defender fell down. Well, Ryan Flournoy's double move was freaking nasty to put his ass on the ground.
He played really tough all the way through to the end. He wasn't pulling up. He was.
It was his moment.
He was playing. Well, I mean, his moment was the Jets game. This is the second time we've seen him do it.
Yeah, but still someone hungry to prove themselves.
Yeah, 100%. And he's the guy that when we talked about this before.
That was incredible.
He got a ton of marks for when scouts came to his college to watch him practice his senior year. He had broken his hand the week before, and he's like, I'm not missing the one opportunity to be in front of these scouts. So he went through all the drills catching with one hand. He's like, no, I'm going to be seen by them. I'm not, and they love the competitiveness and the toughness, and he's shown that. And I mean, he was really, really. He's a genuine star up last night. He was really, really good.
Maybe they're not having this discussion in Frisco. I think you have to have it, and we're going to have it. Now, what are you thinking about doing with him? George gave a quote before the game in a sit down. By the way, thank you, Amazon. Tim, just send Amazon to the other shows. No more Amazon Prime in here.
Do you know how many times they got recognized for this?
Out? You were out that day. They came in here to film us. We record and give them content and commercial breaks. We try to change up the segment schedule a little bit. I heard Bobby's voice for 2 seconds. No visuals.
No visuals. That's right.
Like what? I'm blown. This is multiple times now. We don't get our TV shine.
So I'm blown away by this.
Like, just stay out of here. Go to KNC. Go to Fred and Blake.
No, I need my shine. But they
didn't put you on.
People know my voice. It's a very noticeable voice. No, it's wild that we were talking about this. The fact that they took 3 seconds of that, right? That producer is on salary, so they probably didn't need to contract him. But they paid for him to fly, I would imagine. Yeah. So let's say, even on the cheap end, $300.
I always do this.
Okay? That day rate for the audio and the video person, which they didn't use video for, probably $1,000 each.
Yeah.
They spent $2,500 to get a 3-second clip that I could have just recorded into a microphone and sent them.
It's amazing the amount of money that
they burn it. They light it on fire.
They don't care. And the clip they played, it wasn't even a take. It was they beat the last two, or they beat the teams that were the Super Bowl last year, and then they just got to
Bezos just lighting money on fire.
Yeah, but I bet you, how much of that is they can't have you send it in because it's a union thing?
They're not really thinking about it. God, your brain goes to the next levels that no one could predict.
I know.
George Pickens, in his prime pregame interview, it was a great quote. He said, I feel like in Pittsburgh you could hear me. In Jerry World, you can see me. Well, we saw you loaf and give up last night after your boy was concussed and the Cowboys were in a must-win situation. So, Ralph,
so what's your
James
take, y'all?
Pickens, the number one Pickens fan in the Metroplex. I'm expecting some sarcasm and some jokes and some comedy here, but eventually I want to hear your updated reality.
So, what are we going to make of George Pickens? Did that all of a sudden sour us on him? That we should be thinking twice before signing him? Or do we try and work and continue to get the best out of him? It's going to be a tough call here going forward. Here's what we've got today. We've got some games that are consequential to the Cowboys. We've got Seattle and Atlanta. It'd be great if Seattle dropped off the face of the earth, but they're 9-3. And the Atlanta Falcons are really too far behind to really catch us. If we're worried about Atlanta, then we're more worried about draft position at that point. Pittsburgh, Baltimore on tap today. Doesn't matter really as far as we go. Tennessee, Cleveland, the who cares game. Maybe we want to see Cleveland be able to play well because I believe they play the Bears still. Indianapolis, Jacksonville, another one, doesn't matter. The Commanders and Minnesota. We need the Commanders to actually, with Jaden Daniels coming back, to beat the Eagles. That might be our hope. We as Cowboy fans now need to start rooting for Washington. Miami, New York Jets, who cares? New Orleans, Tampa Bay. I guess we could look and say maybe Tampa Bay continues to fall in Carolina, but one of those teams are going to win their division. If we got Tampa Bay, here's another way you could look at it and say is if Tampa Bay drops off and Carolina wins the division, maybe we can take that spot, but chances are it's not going to happen. Cincinnati, Buffalo, again, nothing for us. Cincinnati trying to get back into it. Denver Raiders, Denver's going to take care of business there. The Bears and Packers. What we actually need is we need the Chicago Bears they've got 2 games against the Packers, is to knock them down twice. That game is critical for us. That's a 4:25 kickoff. Rams in Arizona, you could hope that the Rams continue to go downhill and maybe you catch them, but chances are that's not going to happen. And, of course, the Eagles versus the Chargers. Those are the games that would make a difference for us, but let's be clear here. We don't have much going for us right now. Now, again, I've been out of the loop, so to speak, and kind of refreshing myself. And tomorrow I will be back to the Red Brick House, and I'll be getting my truck back too this week, thank God, which broke down. And it's back to life and back to reality and back to dealing with everything that is the Dallas Cowboys. So, Stephen Jones yesterday, got to get this.
Joins you now here on your home of the Cowboys, 105.3 The Fan. And a good afternoon, sir. How the heck are you?
Good afternoon, guys.
Man, how we doing today? How'd you take all that in with the loss to Detroit after so much excitement, but still in it, right? So big picture, how you looking at the rest of the season at this point forward?
Well, like we've taken the whole season, it's got to be 1 week at a time. Obviously, that was a very, a tough one. We felt like we didn't, play to the standard that we expect our guys to play to in all 3 phases. I think we got to give Detroit a lot of credit. Obviously, that's a tough place to play. Obviously, that's a good team, and we didn't get the job done. As I said, in all 3 phases, we just didn't play to the standard that we expect our guys to play to, and there was a lot on the line there, and we didn't get the job done.
Specifically, a lot of people are reacting to George Pickens' performance. Was that a red flag for you guys in any way?
No, that's they obviously had a plan for George, and the good news is CD was on his way to a career-type day before he had his concussion, and hats off to Flo. He stepped up, Flournoy, and stepped up and picked up where CD left off, but. We just, you can't be in a game like that and them score touchdowns and us kick field goals. And then, the killer, of course, which we always know is, they had 3 turnovers and we didn't take the ball away. And on top of that, we gave them too good a field position on special teams. And, it just led to, the situation that we ended up in. We gave ourselves a chance there at the end, but, when we cut it to 3, but couldn't get the big stop. And unfortunately, we did get the job done. Give a lot of credit to Detroit and Dan Campbell. He had his team ready to go, and we came up short.
You brought up CD, and he truly was unguardable until that scary injury in the end zone. Is there any update on how CD's doing today?
Yeah, I mean, right now we think he's headed in a good direction to be able to play, but obviously we'll just take each day at it and see how he continues. But he was making good progress through the evening up until we landed, and we'll see how the day goes today. But we've played 4 games in a short period of time there, and we've got a little break here to get our feet back up under us and you said, we just got to, worry about ourselves. And, we still got an opportunity. We're not out of it, but we obviously got a lot of work to do ourselves, and certainly we need a lot of help.
Stephen, what do you think happened to the pass rush as the game went on? It seems like they started out pressuring Goff pretty good and then just started to wane a little bit as the game went on. Was it something that Detroit was doing?
Yeah, I mean, that's, you got to give Detroit credit for making the adjustments. And, we just didn't get the pressure we needed to. And on a guy like Goff, if you let him sit back there, he's a great passer of the ball, and he's got great weapons. Gibbs obviously showed up big time for him. Williams, and then, of course, St. Brown, playing through an injury. You got to give him a lot of credit, too. But, they made the plays, and we moved the ball. We just, when you're kicking field goals and they're scoring touchdowns, that's not a good recipe.
It really is.
How close was Clowney to being able to play, and how much was his presence missed?
No, I think we missed him. I mean, he's been playing at a high level during our run, and certainly, it was, we hated that he couldn't play, but, I don't think he was going to be able to give us a lot, and we just felt the best thing to do there was not to take a chance on him injuring the thing worse, and, he just wasn't totally comfortable with it.
Stephen, your offensive tackle play probably wasn't where it needed to be last night in that game, though. As you look at Nate Thomas, really good against Kansas City, and then kind of maybe took a step back. Is that just part of being a young guy that every week there's going to be different challenges for him to have to get to a level where he could be an outstanding player for you?
Well, like you said, he's, if you look at his play time, and, he's certainly just now really starting to play. It's like a rookie, if you will, that, hadn't played a lot. And you're going to have some peaks and valleys, even players that ultimately end up being great players. The first part of getting your feet wet and going against great players, which certainly Detroit has a really good football team. That's part of the growing pains, and we just got to work through that, and we still, in spite of kicking a lot of field goals, we still put some good points on the board. But in that particular game, they needed to be touchdowns and not field goals.
Stephen, you mentioned about the field position and stuff like that. Was that maybe one of the most frustrating games you've ever had, with you kicking a field goal or you getting a touchdown and then all of a sudden the ball being on your own or on the Detroit 41 to start a drive?
Yeah, I mean, that's, we got to be better than that. I know Coach Sorensen expects more. I know, of course, Coach Schottenheimer does, and we got to be better than that. You got to give them credit. They got one of the better special teams units in the league, and they certainly played to that level. And, obviously, that's a tough place to play there in Detroit. Their fans are,
they really are.
With Dan there over the past 3 years, they've turned into a really good football team, and they're all out to support them. And, it's a tough environment to play in, but still we've got to overcome those type of things and got to learn to win tough games on the road.
What was your perspective on the decision to give Jake Ferguson that offensive pass interference?
Yeah, I mean, calls. There's calls sometimes that you think, boy, that went our way. Obviously, that one. Everybody has their own opinion as to how calls should have gone. I mean, that was a difficult one for us, but those guys certainly are working to do the very best job they can do. So. In any given game, there's calls that go for you and calls that go against you. We've got to do a better job as a team executing and doing the job that we need to do, so that a call here or there, one way or the other, isn't the difference in a game.
Think Philly keeps the door cracked open for you on Monday night?
We can only hope.
I mean, obviously, what we're hoping for, but
yeah.
I'm not. I can't speculate on. How that game's going to go. Certainly, you certainly know who we'll be cheering for.
Well,
yeah, you know who we'll be cheering for. All righty, good people. We will see you all at 1 o'clock. And it is what it is. You know, it's just shit happens. And it's not the season that we wanted, but it's the season, I guess, that we deserve. As always, I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and I'll see you soon. Peace out.